Goals and typical routines for 11 to 14 months. Hello there, amazing parents of 11 to 14-month-olds. I'm so happy you're here. This is truly an exciting stage in your baby's development, a time when sleep patterns can really start to come together with your loving guidance. I know the journey to better sleep can feel overwhelming at times, but I want you to know that you're not alone, and you're doing an incredible job already by seeking support. I want you to know that whether this is your first time exploring our age-specific content or you're continuing from earlier modules, you're in exactly the right place at the right time. Many parents find that babies at this age respond beautifully to consistent sleep guidance. If you're feeling exhausted right now, I see you. I understand those feelings of frustration and fatigue, and I want you to know that better sleep is absolutely possible for your family. The fact that you're here, taking this step, shows what a dedicated parent you are. Your efforts matter, and they will pay off. Flexible routine philosophy. Let's start with our core philosophy that will guide everything we do: flexible routine, not rigid schedule. Say that with me. Flexible routine, not rigid schedule. I know many of us crave structure and predictability. I certainly do. But remember, we're working with wonderful little humans, not robots. Your ability to find that sweet spot between structure and flexibility is such a gift to your child. When you feel overwhelmed by schedule details or worried about getting everything just right, take a deep breath and remember this mantra. Give yourself permission to adapt and adjust as needed. This approach not only helps your baby thrive, but also relieves you of the pressure to be perfect. And that's something we all need as parents. I'm going to help you establish a rhythm that works, but our real goal is creating a framework that sets your days up for success while making room for real life to happen. Because life with a toddler is wonderfully unpredictable, isn't it? 4 key elements for better sleep. When we're creating your baby's daily rhythm, I recommend focusing on 4 key elements that will help promote truly restorative sleep. First, let's talk about wake windows between 3 and 4 hours. Think of these wake periods as time when your little one is charging their sleep battery. They need enough awake time to build sufficient sleep pressure for those quality naps we're all hoping for. Let me walk you through what this typically looks like. Your baby wakes up bright-eyed in the morning, and about 3 hours later takes their first nap. Then, approximately 3 to 3.5 hours after that first nap ends comes nap number 2. Finally, 3.5 to 4 hours after the second nap wraps up, it's bedtime. Wake window patterns. You might notice some patterns here. The wake windows generally range from 3 to 4 hours, and they tend to start shorter in the morning and gradually lengthen as the day progresses. Your 11-month-old might do beautifully with a 3-hour window before that first nap, while your 14-month-old might need closer to 3.5 or even 4 hours to be truly ready for sleep. These are ranges, not rigid rules. I want you to watch your baby and trust what you see. You're becoming more expert in reading your child's cues every single day, and that insight is invaluable. You'll likely find that as your baby grows, they'll gradually need those longer wake windows to build enough sleep pressure. I want to pause here and acknowledge that some of you might already have wake windows that match these targets. If that's you, that's wonderful. Your consistency is really paying off. Others of you might be thinking, my baby can barely stay awake for 2.5 hours without melting down. I completely understand that concern, and I want to reassure you that we'll work on gradually extending your baby's awake time. Just aim for 10 to 15 additional minutes per wake window to start. Extending wake windows. When you see those sleepy cues starting to appear, try changing the environment or introducing an activity your baby loves. Maybe they enjoy stacking blocks, exploring kitchen cabinets, splashing in a water table, or taking a walk around the neighborhood. The goal is to gently extend their wakefulness without pushing them into overtired territory. Remember that wake windows start the moment you lift your baby from the crib and end when you place them back in. If you've been following our program since your baby was younger, you'll notice these goals are similar in concept, but adjusted for your growing toddler's developmental needs. Keeping naps the right length. Our second focus is on nap duration. At this age, no single nap should exceed 2 hours. I know what you might be thinking. Wait, you want me to wake my sleeping baby? If their nap reaches the 2-hour mark, then yes, and I promise there's good reason for this. I completely understand how counterintuitive this feels. That moment when you have to wake a peacefully sleeping baby can be so hard, especially when you've worked so diligently for that sleep. But trust me on this one. This small action now leads to better overall sleep patterns that will benefit your whole family. When naps go too long, they can interfere with your baby's feeding schedule, reduce the active awake time they need for development, and push bedtime later than ideal, all of which can lead to night wakings. When your baby hits that 2-hour mark during a nap, Gently ease them awake by opening the door, turning off the sound machine, drawing back the curtains, and speaking in a soft, soothing voice. As their eyes flutter open, bring them into a well-lit space to start the next wake window.